How's it going? And welcome to episode 6 of the Creators Spotlight. Today we invite another 3 guests onto the show from around the world to tell us all about their creative exploits and what gets their juices flowing and indeed gets them out of bed in the morning during this lockdown and these unprecedented times. Thanks to everybody who's taken part so far. Episode 6, here we are over a month of these, and hopefully the viewers have been getting a look at some new creators from around the world that they may not have bumped into without this. And it's been great, the amount of people who have been contributing and sending in videos of themselves to be a part of the next episode. But I'd like to continue on as long as I can, so if you'd like to contribute and be a part of the spotlight and share your knowledge of the world, then please get in touch. I'd love to have you here. Today we're joined by 3 pillars of the world, one being Dermot in Ireland, Michael in England, and TJ over in the United States. There's not too much preamble from me today other than the fact that episode 6 has seen a little change to the questions. The last 5 episodes have been pretty much the same, but I wanted to change things up a little bit in order to give the viewers something a little bit more and give the contributors something else to think about. Didn't want everybody getting too samey as it goes on. Why don't we meet the 3 contributors today? Lads, why don't you tell us who you are, where you are, what type of creator that you are, and what inspires you to create?
Mikey, thanks a million for having me on the video spotlight. I really do appreciate it, especially for being an Irish guy. But yeah, I'm Dermot O'Donovan. I'm primarily a landscape and underwater photographer. I've been doing landscape photography for quite a few years, ever since, I'd say, about 2013, and I've been doing underwater scuba diving photography for the last 2 years. So I really do like that creative side of processing of photography. And also, as of last year, I jumped on the whole YouTube bandwagon. My running mate from the Irish Photography Podcast, Darren Spooney, kind of made me do it. But I'm kind of delighted he did, because I'm really enjoying that side of things. It can be stressful at times, but I'm really enjoying the journey of YouTube. It kind of forces me to become a better photographer, I think, in my eyes.
Hey Mikey, thanks for having me on, man. And by the way, rockin' beard, it's looking good. My name's TJ Rogers, and I'm a guitar instructor. So naturally, all of my videos are about guitar lessons and how to play guitar. I'm located in Meridian, Idaho, and probably the most kind of inspirational thing that I have is actually my students. As they come in and ask me questions, I'm always making mental notes of which questions would be good videos, good things to teach about online.
Thanks for having me, Mikey. My name is Michael. I'm from North Yorkshire, and I guess you could say I'm an outdoor adventure and lifestyle photographer and videographer. So I spend a lot of my time in the landscape, outdoors, in the mountains, places like the Lake District and Scotland. The outdoors definitely inspires me to create. I love capturing a landscape in its raw essence and showing that through a collective body of work, whether that's photo or video. I usually try and combine the two to tell a story.
Excellent, thank you very much. And TJ, of course, yes, is I do like to oil it and look after it, groom it, if you will. I like to make sure it's healthy and strong, as I still have a child under 5 who likes to hold on to it sometimes, so I need it to exude strength. Tell everybody, is it a piece of work that you're particularly proud of?
Oh, for sure, yeah, definitely. It'll have to be 2 videos. So it'll be my moving time-lapse series video. So I'd have one in Norway, the Lofoten Islands, and another one in the Dolomites in northern Italy. I used a Rhino Slider Rove Pro Traveler for them, and I loved it so much. Those videos are so immense and so powerful that I've went away and I haven't outgrown it, I still love using it, but I've upgraded to the bigger brother of the Pro Traveler, to the Rhino Slider Evo with a 42-inch rail. So that should be here as of next week. So I'm really looking forward to kind of improving my time-lapse series videos. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what I can produce with this new slider.
Yeah, I do have a piece of work that I'm kind of proud of. Just recently, Matty Hapoya did a film fest, and he encouraged creators to make short documentaries or short stories about how the recent pandemic has affected our businesses. And so I participated in that. Mine, I've watched some of the other ones and they're really good. So mine's kind of low quality compared to theirs. But for me, it was a good learning experience, and I was pretty happy with the results that I produced. So I'm pretty proud of that. And the title was "Music is Immune." The whole premise was that music doesn't get sick.
I hope it's not a cop-out of an answer, but I would definitely say I'm proud of my photography this year and how far that's come. That's something I've been really trying to push the last 6 months or so, and I think it started in January on a trip to Glencoe in Scotland. So we went for the weekend, and the first day it was torrential rain. We got so wet. I've never been that wet before. We spent the rest of the day drying our clothes in the hotel room, and the next day we got rewarded with snow and some blue skies, and it was the most incredible thing ever, and I got some of my most favourite pictures I've ever taken. So definitely proud of how far I've come there and where that's going to go this year, if we can get outside.
What's the most embarrassing thing that you've ever worn?
Most embarrassing thing I've ever worn. Oh wow, that would have to be Adidas. Yeah, Adidas with a Nikon camera strapped around my other shoulder. That's probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever worn in my life. It would have been so much better if it was Nike and a Canon camera. You're either Nike or you're Adidas. It's plain and simple, you know. Canon, Nikon. I'm a Nike Canon man. Plain and simple.
Yes, the most embarrassing thing I've ever worn is the American flag. When I was a teenager, my mom and my sisters were into rodeo stuff, and I was forced one day to stand out on the street and during an event and hold some raffle tickets, I think it was, that we were selling. But they made me wear this long sleeve button-up cowboy shirt, and I swear to this day that it was a girl's shirt. They told me it wasn't, but I'm pretty sure it was. And that was kind of embarrassing.
What's the most embarrassing thing I've ever worn? Let me see if I can find the picture. Aha! Right. So the photo on the right, is it right? Your left, is me wearing a dead mouse helmet that I paid £250 for on eBay, and then proceeded to walk around the local estate wearing it for the rest of the night whilst my friend was dressed up as Slenderman. No idea what I was thinking at the time. I significantly remember not being allowed in a takeaway for that. Yeah, very strange. Safe to say I don't own that item anymore. It was fun at the time, but
I have to say that those three collectively would make quite an interesting band, you know. Deadmau5, you know, perhaps on the keys or something in the background there. TJ, maybe you in your Stars and Stripes shirt, maybe heading up vocals or something. Dermot, you know, you kind of had that kind of rap vibe going on, you know, the Adidas and all that. Maybe you were working the decks or something, maybe doing backup vocals. Don't know. I'd say they were all, you know, collectively really embarrassing. But anyway, what movie do you think would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical?
Oh, that's a strange one. What could be moved from a movie into a musical? Do you know what? Do you remember that film Avatar? It was made back in late 2009, 2010, around that time. And for the time when that movie came out, it was brilliant. I mean, like, the CGI, if you look back at it now, it wasn't so brilliant. It was still good. But it was, at that time, it was just next gen stuff. Like, I mean, like, I was like, wow, this is amazing. All these massive blue characters running around. It was out of this world, literally, you know. But if you think about it, the storyline is so impactful, so powerful that it could translate into a musical, along with the music from James Horner, an absolute fabulous composer. So if you marry the two of them into a musical, I think it would really work. I mean, like, wow. Yeah, Avatar. It'd have to be Avatar. You know? Yeah, that's pretty cool. great question, actually, now that I think of it.
I'd argue, Mikey, that probably all movies would be better if they were musicals. They'd be a lot more fun. But I guess if I had to narrow it down to one, it would be pretty funny to watch Spider-Man sing. And so, Spider-Man. Definitely Spider-Man.
What movie would be greatly improved? I had this conversation once with a few friends. We were all very drunk, albeit, but I think we decided on Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, because everyone loves Jar Jar Binks already, so let's turn him into a singing Jar Jar Binks. Obi-Wan and Darth Maul are practically dancing anyway during their lightsaber duel, so that's half the battle done. And a singing Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor is definitely something I could get behind. So yeah, Episode 1.
Sticking with movies, what fictional character within said movie or a book or whatever who's awesome would be probably insufferable in real life?
What character could you not live with, more or less? Do family members count? Here's one for you. How about the Hulk? I mean, think about it. The Hulk, he's bloody massive. How are you going to fit him in around your house? How are you going to sit him at your dinner table? I mean, like, he takes up too much room. He can't even talk to you. All he does is moan and groan and is moody, you know. So yeah, have to be the Hulk. And think about it. I already have one already. I have a 15-year-old daughter. So having the Hulk is like having a moody teenager all the time. And think about it. Try ask the Hulk to wash the dishes. Not a chance. He'd probably beat the crap out of you. Yeah. I wouldn't live with the Hulk. No. You try live with the Hulk.
You know, I really like the character Tony Stark from Iron Man. Super funny to watch, but I could only imagine actually having to deal with that character in real life would be very annoying. So, Tony Stark, all the way. Sorry if I'm on a Marvel kick here. We just recently watched all the Marvel movies as a family, so.
I'm going to keep the Star Wars theme going here, and whilst he's the perfect comedic relief in the movies, I think C-3PO would be pretty insufferable if he was your everyday companion. Imagine being told the odds for everything you were going to do. Yeah, I think I'd have kicked him off a mountain by now, for sure.
Hello, I am C-3PO,
No,
Human
get out,
Cyborg Relations.
If the world was to be filled with male and female versions of you, what type of place do you think that would be like?
The world would be a very, very weird place. I tell you this much. It'd be unreal and competitive at the same time. The girls would be hot, of course, you know. Imagine a female version of me. Yeah, very good looking person, I would say. The male's not so good looking. Yeah, it'd be very interesting. Like, you know, like I said, I am a very competitive person, so I love basketball, so playing basketball against myself, you know yourself inside out, you know what move you're going to make next. It'd be fun to go on a landscape photography shoot with them, because just probably massage each other's egos a little bit, you know? Yeah, be weird, but cool. And unreal. A world of duds.
Well, I guess if the world was filled with male and female me's, the world would be a lot stinkier. But, and it'd be full of puns, like dad jokes. And then, well, there would be world peace. That's the one happy thing about it. There's this song from like an old grunge band back in the 90s, I think it was. I don't know if I can do this or not, but let's see. I was like, your best friend is you, I'm my best friend too. We share the same views and hardly ever argue. Something like that, right? So, yeah, stinky, world peace.
That depends. Would there be just me, or would everyone else still exist? I think a lot of shit would get done. I would hope me and myself would work together to divert the climate crisis. But I think in the long term, probably pretty insufferable living with a lot of me. And if everyone else was still here, well, God help them. So yeah, probably not the best idea.
Tell us, is there a place that you've been to that you would return to time and time again and just never get bored?
Oh, Mikey, that is such an easy one to answer, right? It has to be the Lofoten Islands in Norway. This place is a photographer's paradise. It's an absolute playground for anyone to go with a camera. It doesn't matter if you're good at landscape photography or not. The fact that you can witness pure beauty at every corner. There's an opportunity everywhere in the Lofoten Islands. I mean, you think about it, you got the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis. It's just monumental when you get to see it for the first time, just dancing across that sky, you know. It's just so cool. And you have the sunrises last for about 2 hours over there, so you're not rushing around like a blue arse fly trying to get everything in. You can take your time, you can get the shots that you want. I mean, Norway is just unbelievable. I mean, it takes a while to get there. Like, to get there from where I live, it's almost like 24 hours travel, so it's not exactly ideal. But you will not be sorry if you go to Lofoten Islands. And if I had the opportunity to go tomorrow, I would be gone. Yeah, it has to be the Lofoten Islands. It's just, I long for it ever since I've came home, really.
I don't want to sound too mushy here, Mikey, but actually a couple of years ago, my wife and I, we did an anniversary trip, and in the end, we actually, for whatever reason, we didn't actually go on the trip. We actually ended up dropping the kids off at the in-laws, and then just staying home. And it was the most relaxing thing. And then to kind of reinforce that, just this whole stay-at-home thing. Here in Idaho, we've had a stay-at-home order. We've had to stay home the last few months. And to be honest, it has been the biggest stress reliever for me. When I go home after work, I work in my studio because I can pretty much just lock myself in here. There's nobody else here. So I work at the studio, but when I go home, my kids are there and they're excited to see me. So when I walk in the door, it's like, hey, Dad, how you doing? And so I'd say the place that I love going and I'm going to return to every single day for the rest of my life is home with my family.
I've got two answers for this one. So the first one is definitely the Lake District, because that's the place that inspired me to pick up a camera in the first place, and I will keep going back there for as long as I physically can. And the second place would have to be Jurassic Park. Even if the T-Rex broke out and chased me, I would still go back. Yeah. Why hasn't someone made Jurassic Park yet?
As creators, what other creators or artists inspire you, or do you enjoy their work, viewing videos and that kind of thing?
Right, someone I look up to and their work, it would probably be Michael Shainbloom from Time Lapses. I mean, that dude is sick. I mean, he is unreal at what he does. I mean, look at his video Cascade. Like, it wasn't even just time lapses. This is slow motion water effect at about 30 different waterfalls. I mean, that dude is just, anything he touches turns to gold. I mean, he's so good that I've signed up for his masterclass. So yeah, I think you should go check that out as well. I mean, I can't wait to learn what that guy knows. I really can't wait. But from an underwater kind of scuba diving perspective, it'd have to be Alex Mustard from England and Nigel Moitier from Ireland. They're two of the best underwater photographers that I know. I love looking at their work. From a comedy kind of side of things, would have to be Gavin Hardcastle. I love watching that dude's videos, and he's a really good photographer too. And I think some people lose sight of that. That is because his comedian kind of side of things, but the dude is really good at photography too. So I love watching his kind of side of things, and I look up to that guy as well. And then from a content kind of filmmaking side of things, that guy Matty Hupia on YouTube, I think we all know who he is. He's really, really good, very insightful, and the dude likes to share out what he knows as well for free. So yeah, I like watching all those guys. Yeah, good question. I like that one now. Yeah.
Say probably Matty Hapoya is a big inspiration to me. I love how he's constantly teaching us things that he's passionate about, but at the same time, we kind of get to see his the real him. Like he's a real person, where a lot of other creators or people kind of in his realm of video making, we don't really get to see who they are. They're just sort of characters on the screen. But Matty Hapoya is very real, and I like that. Probably kind of a two-part answer, sorry. But the other thing that really inspires me is actually the No Small Creator group. It's a Facebook group. And it's great to kind of go and see other people like me that are learning and trying to do the same thing. And that's very inspiring to me.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a Spielbergy influence to my video work. I think that's where my love of adventure came from films like Jurassic Park, E.T., Indiana Jones. But mostly just seeing what my friends create and what they put out, that definitely inspires me to then go and want to make something or go on an adventure with them. So yeah, I love surrounding myself with a closely knit circle of people and all encouraging each other to do their best work.
If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you've been lifted for?
If I was arrested, first of all, I wouldn't even know what I've done myself. So yeah, it'd probably be something like, I don't know, got drunk and naked and skydived all at the same time somehow and landed somewhere I shouldn't be. Yeah, it's probably going to be something weird like that, because I like to kind of do extreme things. I always kind of go one step above and beyond. My friends would tell you that quite often. And you know the funny thing about it, they probably wouldn't even bail me out. Like, they'd just probably leave me there to rot. I don't blame them either. Yeah. Interesting question. That's what I'd be arrested for. Something like that.
I'm really not sure. I'd like to think that they would assume I'd been falsely accused. But I guess potentially they could think that perhaps road rage. I get a little angry on the road sometimes. That I'm pretty chill. So, yeah. Maybe, I know. Maybe Mark Wahlberg is in the area with a warrant out for his arrest and I'm mistaken for him. That could be it.
So I asked a few friends about this and they all came out with the same answer. So, crashing a drone into a plane. Yeah, like that's going to happen. Crashing a drone. And getting arrested at border control. Don't know why they would think that one, but sure.
And that's it. Thanks very much. Thank you to my contributors today, my three excellent guests, Dermot, Michael and TJ. I'll leave all the links in the description for their channels and their work, and you can go over and check out some of their work and indeed sub to their channels also.
Thanks a million for having me on, Mikey. Really do appreciate it. Bye. Ayo.
Thanks for having us, Mikey. See you later, man.
Thanks for having me, Mikey. I'll see you in Scotland.
Thank you, the viewers, for watching and staying with me on this one, and hopefully you'll be finding new creators to check out in these times of additional time spent online watching YouTube videos. I hope you're all staying safe and staying sane as things continue down this road. Who knows where it's going to be, but thank you for being here and thank you for being a part of this. Like I said at the beginning, if you'd like to contribute and be a part of this Creator Spotlight, please get in touch. I would love to have you here, and I'm sure everybody watching would love to know all about you also. And thank you very much for all your time. I will see you all on the next video.